Hi everyone, Emma here. I am going to show you a tutorial on these crystal bracelets. Now this is a variation of the original one that I did from the tutorial online. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the first two that I made. So that this is... this lighting. So this is the first one, and so you do these two strands and then you put them together using your 11-0 seed beads, and then you attach a clasp. Now what I did was, my initial variation is I put these connectors and then attached a magnetic clasp to it. So that's the pink one, and this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think the blue one's smaller, so this is 12. The other variation I did on the original video is they ask for bicones. And I use their 6mm bicones. I used 6mm fire polish beads. So that made a bit of a difference in the way it looked. So there's that. So this one's loose on me. I have a 6.5 inch wrist. So this is really loose actually. So I went ahead and took one set off, and that gave me this blue one. They're all attached, the magnetic clasp. Yeah, so I took one set off, and now it fits just right. So it still has, actually it's still pretty. I would probably go another one for me. So that's quite, let me show you the 12 strand one. So yeah, it's quite large. So maybe for a 7-inch wrist, you might want to try the 11 one. So that's 11 of these crystals on each side. I don't know if using the fire polished beads made the difference in the size. But the tutorial was a bit ambiguous, so it's hard to know because wrist sizes vary. So that's those two. Then I went ahead and did this one, and oh my gosh, I made this one for Brittany from Turquoise Street, and I sent the package. I forgot to put it in the package. Now, I wanted to change something on this. I felt these beads in the middle were too big, and I wanted to give it like that Aztec kind of turquoise look to it. I felt like it needed more gold, so I think I'm going to redo this anyway and do some more gold with the turquoise. So no big on that one, but that's the, so that one's quite big too. I'm going to have to measure these on a mandrel. I still haven't ordered a mandrel. Okay, so this is the big reveal for the variation. So I showed you on, for instance, this one, how you have these beads here that connect the two strands. So basically you're doing two strands of these. Pretty straightforward, easy, and I'll show you how to do them. Then you set them together by weaving up and adding these two beads up and attaching it like this. So it gives you this kind of honeycomb pattern. So that was with, these are supposed to be 11-0 seed beads, but they are slightly different, so they seem a little bigger, so that was understandable. But then with these ones, actually I think these are 8-0s. Sorry, these are 8-0s, and then those are 11-0s. They're still nice, but I still feel like they don't kind of fit right in that. orientation. I feel like there's room for improvement on that. So this is what I came up with. I put the Superduo in the spot. So now you've got Superduo, 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 Superduo. It makes it a little more narrow, and that, you know, may be on account of the bead as well. So what I did was on the outside edges, so one side, when you do up your strands, one side you're going to do this kind of picot effect. Let's see if I can enlarge this. So you have this, like these 15O beads, and then an 11O, and then 15Os, and you attach them all along the side. So on these guys, you do that on both sides of the strand. So you do it here and here on both sides, the same. And then all you do is add the middle. What I did when I added, so I did the one strand on the one side. On the second side, I went ahead and instead of adding an 11O, I added a Superduo. So then when I went to the second strand, I did the one side the same, but on this side, I added my 3 15Os, and then I went through the already attached Superduo. And you don't have to add a bead. Now you could probably add a bead up and down because there's space for it, but I think it looks good just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it as a tutorial. I've made a bunch of these already. I just love them. I think they're amazing. And now that I know, like, I don't have any, I have a few bicones, and I'm ordering some. But in the meantime, I have these wonderful fire polished beads, and they seem to work really well with it. So I think it's time to go ahead and do it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some Superduos, and I try and match my colors. You're going to need 13 Superduos for each strand, and then you're going to need 12 for the middle. So, oh, this one doesn't have a hole in it. Oh, a couple of them don't have holes. Let me see if I can open the holes. I don't know if you can see this. The hole is covered up by the finish. These are, I think, galvanized. Yeah, it's going through. Ouch. I'm wondering if I should just get a new one because I don't want to be getting my thread stuck. Okay, so you need, so I said 13, that's 26, and then 12, 38 Superduos. And then you need, depending on how big you're going to make it, you're going to need, what do I have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And this one has a little blemish in it, and I think I have an extra one. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to switch that one out. I should have some. It might be... Oh, I have one left. No, that's not the same one, I don't think. It is. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to move that out. They come in strands of 25, so that's why I kind of knew that I had one. Okay. So yeah, you need 24 of these. 2 to 4 less if you're going to make it shorter. And then you're going to need some size 11 seed beads and some size 15 seed beads. Again, try and coordinate the color. You're going to need a clasp. You don't have to do the connector like I've done. You can just do a regular clasp. So You need your line. Right now I'm using Fire Line 4-pound. I would recommend using 8-pound. This stuff is really soft and kind of wobbly initially. Let me see which one. This one's really kind of loose and wobbly. But as I got going, I got better at going through it, and I found that my line, as I got through it, also got thicker in the middle. Don't know why that is, but so you're going to need 2 beading needles. I'm using a size 10 or 2 size 10s. I tested it to go through the 15s, and they go through the 15s fine. You might want to check what goes through best with whatever you're using, because if you can't get it through, you're going to be annoyed. So definitely, and you can use a smaller needle. I just find the needles get really bent, and I just like the more substantial needle. So you're going to thread the 2, and you're going to find on the one strand, you're going to find your midpoint. You're going to go ahead and take, let's put these out now. We're going to need our 11/0s right away. So you're going to take a Superduo first, and you're going to thread it on both needles. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. You can put one in and then the other. Then you're going to take 2, and you're going to find the, I might as well do it now, you're going to find the midpoint with that Superduo, like that. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, so you're going to put 2 11/0s on each needle. Then you're going to put a fire polished or a bicone, whatever you're using, like that. Then you're going to do 2 on each needle again, and this is the pattern you're going to do for the whole thing. So you put those 2 on, then you're going to pop a Superduo on each side, like the same one, because it's got the 2 holes. Now you're going to bring this down, and this first initial one is going to secure. Secure it so it doesn't wobble around. Now what you can do is take one of your needles and just kind of set the other one aside as best you can, because it tends to get in the way. So we're going to do that. Now we're going to follow that same pattern on the one side. So you've got a Superduo, so now you need 2 of these 11/0s, a fire polished, 2 11/0s, a Superduo, 2 11/0s. Oops. See if we can get some more light on this. Oh, it's amazing how dark this seems to me. Okay, so we're at 2 11/0s. And you can look down at what you have here to double check where your pattern is. So now we need a fire polish, 2 11/0s, a Superduo, 2 11/0s, fire polish, and now double check. I've done this a couple of times. I thought I had 2 there, and you get down to the bottom, you're like, ugh, and have to take it all off. So don't be impatient like me. 2 11-0s, a Superduo, 2, fire polish. So I can't remember the name of that color of the fire polish, but oh my goodness, I cannot get over how beautiful it is. Now I did order a bunch of stuff from Art Beads. They had another crazy sale, so on their, I think it was Czech beads that they had the sale on. So hopefully I got some of those in there. But I think I got those from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So you're going to do this right to the end. And then I'll show you the next step. So you can do these super quick. Once you know the pattern, it's so simple. And they're so beautiful. So we got our couch today. So that was pretty cool. The cats were so funny. We didn't realize we have like a two big chairs in our living room aside from a couch, and because we don't have anybody else living with us except for the cats, they've taken over those chairs. So, you know, at certain times of the day and night they sleep in those chairs. So it's so funny. Our big black cat Buddy is not a lap kitty at all. And man, this is like so dark. Just one second. I don't know if that did anything, but let's see. I'm also finding that it's not very focused for my liking. So let me see where I'm at here. Okay, Superduo, so we need 2 11-0s. Yeah, so the cats, when we moved the old couch out, which we did a couple of days ago, or a day or two, yeah, a day ago, so I was saying is the big black cat Buddy is not a lap kitty at all, and my wife, like when we picked them from the pound, we each picked a cat, so we always say your cat, my cat, but I mean they're both our cats. So Buddy's her cat, and she's like, how come he doesn't sit on my lap? And she's always upset. So last night he was plopped down on her lap, and this morning she said, you know, that really, I was wondering why he was doing that. I figured it out. We were sitting in his chair that he sleeps in, so that's why he was sat himself down. And he kept like coming around and nosing up to us and stuff. We're like, what's up with him? So far, the new couch, I don't think they've figured out. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I am pulling all these down to meet with the other ones here. So I'm bringing it down. There. These look amazing. Okay. So that's that. So let's take this needle and put that one aside. And now, so you could probably do this on one needle actually. The needle is stuck to a magnet. There we go. So now all we have to do is pick up. You know, I wonder if my tablet is finally biting the bullet here. Anyway, you guys let me know if it's dark. It might just be my impression. Okay, so let's move those guys out of the way. So now all we have to do is pick up the 2 11-0s and then go through the different beads. So the check glass, like that. Pull that through. Then 2 11-ohs and go through the second hole of the Superduo, and only the Superduo. Two 11-ohs and through the fire polished. 2 11-ohs through the Superduo. 2 11-ohs through the fire polished. And I find holding it like this a lot better. I tried, and some people might just put it down in front of them and grab it that way and find that that works for them. I actually like it. You can put it this way and just weave it in. Let's try it that way and see. But what I'm going to do is put my hand on this one here at the end so that they don't move around off the. So let's see if that works. 2 11-ohs and through that second hole. Put your finger on that so it doesn't go flying all over the place. Yeah, see, I think it's easier the other way, but it's just whatever works for you. So yeah, I think I'm going to hang on to it. Also helps for you guys to see what I'm doing. So 2, oh, and don't skip like I was about to do. Well, I've done that too. I get so impatient. And make sure you don't put it through the other 11-ohs. Okay. So I went to the post office and mailed a package, a housewarming gift for Brittany. So I don't know, what's your opinion? Can a housewarming gift be beads? It's a bead warming gift. I didn't manage to get the painting done. It's just really, really struggling to stay motivated to paint. And this is my excuse, is I have way too much very quick gratification stuff in my office that's like beading stuff. So in a half an hour I can complete something. Well, a painting takes days and weeks and sometimes months, right? So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not totally done. I have a few techniques for working on my motivation. One thing that I did last year was I painted 25 6-inch by 6-inch paintings for Mosaic for Mental Health, and it's like an art sale that raises money for mental health programs here in Nova Scotia. And I think it's all over the US and Canada, because I think I was doing a search and I found something in the US too. So they sent me an email. Last year I did 25 of them, and I think all but a few sold, and they sell for $25 each. So I raised, let me see, something like $400 or $500 I raised, which is awesome, because that could be the price of one program, a complete program. But so they sent usually it's held at an art gallery, and art galleries are pretty small, so there's no way we could social distance. And this thing has become so big that they do it at the art gallery that's by the farmers market right downtown Dartmouth. And so these are the last two that are going to go on the Superduo. And so yeah, I think maybe doing some of that, because what I did with that is I just went online, looked at a picture, went, okay, I'm going to paint that. And I did that for most of them and gave myself a time frame of how long I wanted to spend on it. Now, surprisingly enough, it takes a lot of time. So yeah, I would end up painting it, wait till it dried, come back, do another painting and that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get back to this. So now we're going to take our needles and we're going to set them up to put the picot, which is going to go in this middle beads here. So in between these two, around the fire polished, and come in between these two. And we're going to do that all the way. So the first one is going to start around here. So I'm going to take this right hand needle and I am going to put it through, like across over the Superduo. So you will see thread over your Superduos on the end. And you're going to come out in between those two beads. And you're just going to pull it tight so everything's tight. You will have to... Okay, I did the wrong one there. Put the wrong hole. That's fine. We can fix that. So let's pick up one. I wasn't paying attention. Through there. Okay, and pick up those two 11-O's, put it through the Superduo hole that's open there. Ooh, be careful not to do this. I crossed my thread. There, like that. Okay. So now, this is on the right. So we're going to go through the first two. We're going to go through the fire polished, and we're going to go through the only one of the second here. I guess it's my hand that's affecting the lighting here. Okay, and pull that tight. Pull this one tight. Pull that one tight. And you probably have to adjust it again. So let's take this needle and we're going to do the same thing, only the opposite way. So let's turn that. We're going to go through here, through these two, through the fire polished, and through the first one there. Pull that through. And we're going to set that one aside. Okay. So now, I'm trying to, okay, so we need the 15s and we'll use these for the outside. Oops. Yeah, let me see what I did here. So I did a big one and the 15s. I figured out what happened the other day with my beads. The sticker is like above the tube and it caught them and flung them everywhere. I'm still picking them up. Okay, so we are on I'm gonna try and hold this so you can see what I'm doing. bring this out a bit because I feel like that's what's causing the problems with the lighting and focus. Okay. So we want to pick up 3 15s. Like that. 1 11-0. I'm wondering if I should put a gold bead there. Let me see if I have some 11-0 matte gold. Just 1 minute. Okay, so I have these which kind of match that color gold, and I have these, but I think these are a little tad dark. So let's put these guys away and make sure I didn't put any on the needle already. Put those aside for now. Let me take some of these out. Okay, back to it. So 3 15s, 1 11-0, 3 15s. So that is what you're. This is really hard to see. There. Okay. Make sure I have the right side here. I've done that before where I've... Okay. So here we go. You are going to bring it around this way. So you're going to go through these two here, but you're going to go down. Now you're going to go through everything, and if you can't, just go ahead and pull your needle through and then string it back in, but you're going to position yourself past your fire polished. So you're going down through the middle of these two. You're going down through the fire polish, and you're going to go through your 11-0, through these 11-0s, through your Superduo, through those 11-0s, through this fire polish, and out this way. Now this is the part that I got confused initially, but once you figure it out that you always have to have this little kind of picot thing going around whatever the bead is, then you're fine, and it's always separated by 1 11-0. So hopefully that helps you. So we're just going to pull that through, and you're going to see how it positions correctly. Like that. So I'll do that one more time because this is starting to get long and I don't want you to miss out on the big part at the end. So if you notice, like, this thread should be on the other side, but probably what's happened, let me see where my thread is, it's probably just turned. So you just do that, and now it's in the right position to do your next one. So let's go ahead. We want 3 and 3. Oops, 3 15s, 1 11, 3 15s. Just like that. Pull through. So you're going to go around this one, in between those two. You're going to come down through everything, and make sure you take a look. I've gone where I've missed beads, and then you see your thread. That's frustrating. You get to the end of your bracelet and you realize you've got threads showing. Oh, where am I here? went too far, or okay, right there. Okay, I've got that turned around. This is probably what I did though. How did I do this here? Yeah. So I'm now on the top. I should be at the bottom. Okay, pull it through. It is a bit kind of wonky here. Get my thread turned around here. I'm looking at the other thread, that's why I'm so confused. Let me turn it this way and then pull. Okay, so there's your first two, like that. And you're going to do this all along this side. Do it one more time, and then I'll go ahead and finish it up and show you how to turn it. So 3 15s, and 11 and 3 15s. You're going to come to this bead here, through everything, all the way down past your next fire polish and through 1 11/0, like that. And there you go. So it's starting to take shape here. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to get this done to the end and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. So I have my strand with the little picot edge. I don't know if that's what they call it, but that's what I'm calling it. Yeah. So I did that for the whole thing. Now I left my strand on in case I need it, and my needle is there. So I'm going to put that one aside because we're going to use that to attach to this second one. So I went ahead and strung a second one, and I did the same thing. I did one side is the picot, and then when I got to the end on this side, I turned my thread and came through, and I started, instead of adding an 11/0 gold bead in between the 15/0s, I went ahead and added a Superduo there. So I went ahead and added. So you're going to do that the whole length. So I have a couple left to go. Let me turn it this way. I'm right-handed, so it seems to work better for me. So I have my Superduos and my 15/0s. So you're going to do 3, 1 Superduo, and 3 15/0s. And the same pattern that you did, you know what, I should have it this way actually. Let me turn it this way. Okay, so there we go. So your thread is coming out in between these two next to the fire polished. So you're going to go down to these two. You're going to go in through that one next to the fire polished. You're going to go through that, through the fire polished. You're going to go through both of those 11 O's through that Superduo, through the two 11 O's. And if you can manage to get it in that bead, but you know what, I'm not going to force it, so let me come out like that. Make sure that your needle went through all the beads, because this is where you're going to make that mistake that I've made. And you just pull it tight, and there it goes into position. Okay. Don't forget to go through again, because you need to be set up for the next one. So you're going to the next bead after the fire polished. You're going to grab your 15 O's, your Superduo, and your 15 O. That, and you're going to come in through here. And again, if you can't get through all the beads you need to, just go ahead and, there, that one went through. Just go ahead and do multiple times, but don't forget to do it, because I've done that too. Strung it on, and I'm like, I didn't go through all of them. Just pull that through, and there's your next one set up. Just a few more. So it might be kind of difficult to really see it properly until you start doing it, and the best way I found it, I'm totally new to this, so I mean, I'm just saying what worked for me. I'm not an expert, you know. I'm calling this a tutorial, but it really, you know, I would go see the experts for this. But I think with this variation, it's nice to maybe check both of them. So check my work and check somebody else's. Just make sure we set up for the next one. And so yeah, I've always been like, I watch other people do things and then I figure out a way to do it to make it my own. So this is an example of that. So I love the first one that I watched the video, and but yeah, I wanted to make it special so that it's unique. And I'm sure other people have done stuff like this. I'm definitely not the first person to do it. So the hardest part is picking up these tiny 15 O's. Oh, they're incredible. And I'm really far away from stuff because of the camera. There we go. Okay, so we are set to attach them. So this part here, you're going to cross over your Superduo in here. So you're going to cross into there. Then you're going to set yourself up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and then go up and then attach. So we probably will only get halfway through on this side and then have to add some thread to the other side. So let's go through here, through these. Whatever path you find that works for you for setting yourself up for the next part. So, and actually we could attach it, you know what, it makes You know what? It makes better sense. Yeah, I think I'm going to just leave this for now. I'm going to take the thread from the other one because it's probably longer. Yeah, this one's. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So now this one is missing the one side. So you're going to add your 50 nose but attach it to that Superduo. So I have needles everywhere. This should be interesting. I'm probably going to have to take some needles off, but I don't know. Most people probably don't like threading needles. So this is set up ready to go for the next attachment. So let's grab our needle and I'll put them in my hand so you can see. Oh, I got loose needles everywhere now. Okay, so we need 3 Superduos. Move that. So I've got my 3 Superduos, and I'm going to go through, or sorry, my 3 50 nose, go through the Superduo, pick up 3 50 nose, and now it's attached. So now we're going to pretend it's like one of these. We're going to go through that middle bead, down through fire polish, down through everything. You're going to set yourself up for the next one. Pull that tight, and we are now attached. And I'm just making sure it's tight. In just one sec. I heard my wife moving around there, and I was making sure. I have a bracelet that I put on the door of my office in case she wants to come and talk to me if I'm videotaping. She has to, I was wondering if it was lined up. She sees the bracelet on the handle, the doorknob, then she knows not to interrupt. I always joke, it's like a teenage boy in a college dorm. Do not disturb. I'm going to pull that through. So there, now there's 2 attached. But let's get our needle in position. So we have to go through the Superduos, through the 11-Os, through the fire polished, and through one of the 11-Os. Pull it tight. 50 Os through the Superduo. So this is my variation on this crystal bracelet, and I think it's lovely. Now I've pulled out a bunch of different seed beads and fire polished beads to create some different stuff, and I can show you some of them. Some of them I don't think they're going to work, or they don't have the desired effect that I want. I'm just going to go through these. This is really hard to do with a camera in front of me. Let's pull that through. So that one's attached, but let's put this through. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these guys. and be back to do the finishing. But there you have they're attached. Awesome. Okay, be right back. Okay, so we have everything attached. Now, I think if I were to do this again, I might go over the middle part. Some spots are a bit loose. You can see a spot right here. I kind of wondered if I needed more, like maybe 4 beads at those spots, but I think it might be just because I'm new to this. Like if you look up here, the tension's a little tighter. So I think that's all it is. So I use these connectors. I love them, and I'm going to see if I can get some more of them. I got these on clearance at Kelly's Bead Boutique. So I want to see if I can, I doubt she'll have any left, but I think I paid $1 each or $1 for 2 of them. I can't remember. It might have been 50 cents each. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to attach 2 11-ohs to each hole of the Superduo, and then to this hole on each side. So I've gone ahead and done that one. So I have my thread there, so I'm going to add 2 11-ohs, and I'm going to come through the back of that hole, pull those beads down, and now that I'm through, I'm going to come back down them and through the Superduo, and then I'm going to go to the next hole in the Superduo. So I'm going to cross over down here, come up the second hole of the Superduo, and I always come to the back. It makes it easier coming forward. I'm going to pick up 2 11-ohs, pull it through on my thread, and then come through that hole, push those down. So now that I'm through the hole, I can come down these, and that will secure it. Now I go through both of them twice, so it's probably pretty secure, but I like to be sure. So I'll go back to the other hole, go up through the back, through the hole, all in one step, and then come down through the front of those and through the Superduo, cross over and do the next hole again. So through that hole, through the back, all in one, that, pull tight, and then down through these guys. Now I'm going to go down, and I have to look up tying things off. I've just kind of done this. I like to go through the biggest bead and then tie it off. So just make sure that's all in the right place before I tie it off. So I brought it through. I'm just going to bring my needle through. And I use my nail to hold the thread up so it doesn't loop on the next bead. And put my thread through like a knot. Make sure that's not tangled. And pull tight. Now I'm going to go through all these beads to the next big fire polish. And I'm going to put a second knot on this one. Probably major overkill, but I would hate it if this broke. Beads went flying everywhere. So that's just my way of dealing with my fear. And then I bring it through, and I'm going to burn it off. And like that. Now I'm going to add the clasp, the magnetic clasp with a jump ring. I'm gonna open this up, get my other this and hook this guy on. And hook that on to the middle hole. Everything's magnetic here, so it's a bit sketch. And you can use a trick where you put a spare, attach it to there. It won't be as magnetic. It still will be, and your tools are still magnetic. So if you're really struggling, you can do it that way. Hold that. Close. Oh, that didn't work the way I wanted. Let me get a new one here. And I will attach a magnet. I think I'm getting tired, so it's getting a bit sketch. Throw that guy in there. Get rid of that needle before I poke myself. Okay, attach that guy, and there. Now I can take this one off. There. And there you have it. That's beautiful. Wow, this turned out nice. There it is. There's the... So this is interesting. I wondered about this. These two magnets don't go together. Look at what they're doing. And that's probably, these are not flipped the right way, so I'll have to pull it off and put the matching one in there. Go figure. But there we have it. So there's my variation. Here's this one. That turned out really nice. I'll show you one of the ones I started with a different style of bead, and I don't know if I like it yet. So there's this one here. These are these swirly beads. I don't know if that's what they're called. That's what I'll call them. Yeah, I don't... I feel they get lost in this. So I find that the very kind of gemstone looking, like diamond looking fire polish look really awesome. And then a lot of kind of gold metallic looks amazing with this bracelet. But I find like when I do something like this one, I find it just looks a bit plain. So if this was surrounded in gold or silver seed beads, I think it would look amazing. So there's that one, and I'll show you another one I did. And I don't think I finished it because I think I wasn't happy with how it looked. But you know what? I might try it tonight. Sometimes you're doing stuff and things don't look the way you think they should. And then you go away and look at it later and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So I have these awesome star beads that I bought. And I was just fascinated by them. So I bought them, and then I'm like searching for a project to put them in. So the one side is like iridescent, like I guess it's AB rainbow, excuse me, or iris. And then the other side is clear. So it looks a bit kind of powder blue or Montana blue. So there's, excuse me, my throat's getting dry from talking so much. So I don't know, maybe I need to put gold around. So take a drink of water. Yeah, I think that's that for those guys. So we're at the 1 hour. I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate your time and all your awesome comments and advice. So there is. So I've been busy. Get the last one here. Everything's sticking. All the magnets. So there they are. There we go. Super. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye.